Welcome to Hatman Strikes Back Daily Boxing News. Now, whenever Duke Mckenzie makes a prediction, I always sit up and take notice, especially when he's predicting a heavyweight fight, because he picked Alexander Usyk to beat Tyson Fury both times, and he was absolutely adamant about it. He wasn't umming and ahhing and going back and forth like most people. No, he was absolutely convinced from day one that Usyk would not only beat Fury, but that he'd push him back. And don't get it twisted, I picked Usyk to beat Fury both times, but I didn't think he would bully him to the extent that he did. But Duke Mckenzie predicted that he would. He also predicted that Daniel Dubois would destroy Anthony Joshua, obliterate him. He was very much in the minority. The vast majority of people, including myself, picked AJ to win that fight. Duke Mckenzie was bang on once again. And even more remarkably, way back in the days, November 9th, 1996, he was in the Sky Sports studio and he predicted that Evander Holyfield would beat Mike Tyson. Younger boxing fans may not understand what an incredible pick that actually was. Mike Tyson was something like 25-1 on to win that fight. Holyfield was seen as washed up and finished. He'd lost several times. He'd been knocked out by Riddick Bowe. So anyway, Duke Mckenzie's latest prediction in this interview with Seconds Out is that Daniel Dubois would destroy Tyson Fury, knock him clean out. He's absolutely adamant about it to such an extent that he thinks that Fury will basically avoid that fight. Now, the reason this is interesting to me is that in my head, I'd always seen Tyson Fury beating Daniel Dubois. But Duke Mckenzie's prediction is maybe want to reevaluate, because I've been saying for years that Tyson Fury is no heavyweight Mayweather, despite what his fans have tried to claim, because he's been down, nearly 10 times in his career? So obviously, evidently, his defense is not impregnable. And Daniel Dubois definitely has the power in both hands to put Tyson Fury down. At 36 years of age, Fury's feet are not as quick as they were either. So he's even easier to hit now than he was 5 or 6 years ago. And while Daniel Dubois doesn't have incredibly quick hands, he does have quick feet. I'm going to say he's got quicker feet than Tyson Fury at this stage. And he's got a ramrod jab, which he steps into. We saw that in the AJ fight. He's very aggressive early on, particularly against orthodox fighters. Against southpaws, in the past at least, he seemed to be a bit thrown off by the angles. But against orthodox fighters, he's very aggressive early on. He comes charging at you behind that ramrod jab. And because his feet are quick, it accelerates the speed of the punch. So he's deceptively fast. And when he pins you down, he lets go with both hands. Left hooks, right hooks, straight shots, uppercuts, overarm shots, punches in bunches from every angle, body and head. And so I'm thinking about it now. Ding ding, round one goes. Dubois comes out charging into Tyson Fury. Fury's on the back foot, trying to be slick, trying to feint. Dubois not impressed by the feints. He's sticking that jab on Fury to his chest and to his head. Fury's trying to fiddle his way through and slow the pace of the fight down. Now, Fury might be able to nick some early rounds when he's sharp, when he's at his quickest. But as the fight progresses, if he can't hit and hurt Daniel Dubois, then surely Dubois is going to be able to pin him down at some stage. I mean, Francis Ngannou was able to pin Tyson Fury down at some stage. I know Fury was out of shape in that fight, but he's even older now. He's got even more miles on the clock now. He's inactive at this point. Ring rust is setting in. His reflexes aren't getting faster, they're getting slower. At some point, Daniel Dubois is going to pin him down. And Dubois can fight at a pace that Fury can't keep up with. He's a young man. He showed against Jarrell Miller that he can punch pretty much non-stop for 10 rounds. He stopped Miller in the 10th. Tyson Fury, again, is no defensive genius, but he tends to be a bit better at defending right hands, in my opinion at least, than he is at defending left hooks. Now, obviously, he's been dropped by right hands in several fights. Nevin Pike has dropped him with a right hand, Steve Cunningham dropped him with a right hand, and Deontay Wilder dropped him with right hands in 2 fights. But you have to bear in mind that most fighters are right-handed, and most right-handed fighters tend to throw a lot more right hands than they do left hooks. So statistical probability dictates that you'll get hit with more right hands than left hooks, right? But then you look at Fury's fight with Tom Schwartz. Blasted Schwartz out in 2 rounds, but he got caught with a clean left hook in the first round, Tyson Fury. Go watch it back. Clean left hook caught him on the chin in the first round from Tom Schwartz. And Schwartz is a terrible fighter. He was also caught with a southpaw left. Many southpaw lefts, but one in particular by Otto Wallin, which left him with a cut eye. He was dropped by a left hook from Francis Ngannou just a couple fights back. He was caught with countless southpaw lefts from Alexander Usyk. So I reiterate my case, my claim. In my opinion, Tyson Fury is actually a bit more susceptible to left hooks than he is to right hands. Daniel Dubois has got a great left hook. He's got a great right hand too. But if he's struggling to land that shot on Tyson Fury, it's okay. The left hook is there. Drop Trevor Bryan with it. You guys remember that? So I'm reevaluating this whole thing, and I can see what Duke McKenzie's saying when I really think about it, when I deep it, especially at Tyson Fury's age now, with the wear and tear, the inactivity. Which brings me on to Duke McKenzie's next point. Would Tyson Fury take the fight? McKenzie thinks he wouldn't. I think Daniel Dubois would have to be undisputed champion for Tyson Fury to take that fight. Or he'd have to be coming off a really, really shaky performance. But let's say Usyk wins the rematch with Dubois, but Dubois holds his own and loses a close decision. If Tyson Fury comes back, do you think he's going to step in there with Daniel Dubois? Hell no. The only person that Tyson Fury over the past few months has shown any desire to fight whatsoever is Alexander Usyk. What's the reason for that? Well, Tyson Fury for the longest time wanted people to believe that he was the number one heavyweight in the world, the number one of his generation, the greatest heavyweight of all time, without actually beating the people necessary to prove it. He delayed the Usyk fight for over 2 years. There's a video of Tyson Fury back in 2020 being interviewed, giving all these reasons why he wouldn't fight Usyk, even if Usyk beat AJ. Fact. That's what Tyson Fury said. He was planning to duck him all along. It's only due to a massive check from the Saudis and continuous pressure from the public that Fury eventually caved in after kicking the can down the road for 2 years and fought Alexander Usyk. He didn't want to do it, but he realized that the public would never accept this idea that he's the number one heavyweight in the world unless he did. So he goes in there, loses to Usyk twice. He tries to claim robbery, but the fans ain't having it. And so in his head, he's thinking, okay, my ego can just about handle being seen as the number 2 in the division. It could not handle being seen as the number 3, 4, 5, or 6 in the division. Couldn't handle it. So if I'm going to come back and fight again, I'm going for whoever's the number 1. And right now, that's Alexander Usyk. I think this is the reason that Tyson Fury hasn't even mentioned Anthony Joshua, even though Joshua's coming off a devastating knockout defeat. He looked shot to bits, and the AJ fight would be by far the biggest money spinner for Tyson Fury. Most fans and members of the media are baffled by the fact that Tyson Fury's not even mentioning AJ's name right now, given the circumstances. But if you think about what I've just explained, it makes sense of why Tyson Fury hasn't mentioned Anthony Joshua. And just to be clear, I think Fury beats AJ. But Tyson Fury has always been somebody who is very calculated and very careful about who he fights and when he fights them. He's aware of his own mortality, even if his fans aren't. Not that he's afraid to trade blows with anyone, but he's afraid to not be seen as the number 2 heavyweight in the world at the very least, but preferably number 1. That means the world to him. It means the world to his ego. And so what Tyson Fury likes to do and what these retirements are all about are a way of him escaping the public pressure, the public expectation to fight certain opponents. I'm retired. Meanwhile, he's sitting on the sidelines watching his rivals beat each other up. Then when the dust has settled, he comes out of retirement to fight the last man standing. I call it the Mayweather method. It's a very sneaky way of trying to minimize risk whilst maximizing reward and actually mislead the public into thinking that you're the number 1 guy. I've been saying for the longest, you don't prove yourself the best of your generation by getting one victory over the number 1 guy. It doesn't work like that. If that was the case, then Buster Douglas would have been the best of his generation in the 1980s. But he clearly wasn't, was he? He had that one good night against Mike Tyson, and other than that, he was a whipping boy. Same with Oliver McCall. He had that one good night against Lennox Lewis. Other than that, he was a whipping boy. Hasim Rahman ditto. Leon Spinks in the late 1970s. Being the best of your generation requires that you go through all the top fighters. And that is the bare minimum requirement for being considered one of the greatest of all time, by the way. Tyson Fury doesn't want to do that. He's never wanted to do that. He's always wanted to do less than the bare minimum and then blag his way into the history books. And with all that in mind, as I said previously, in my head, there is no way on God's green earth that Tyson Fury even considers fighting Daniel Dubois unless Dubois is coming off a terrible performance or if he's got all the belts or most of the belts. And that's not to say he definitely can't beat Dubois. But again, Fury is always thinking about risk-reward. But what say you? Do you agree with Duke Mckenzie that Daniel Dubois would knock Tyson Fury clean out? How do you see that fight playing out? Would it be a short fight, a long fight, a slugfest, a chess match, or a one-sided drubbing? Whatever you think, let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And before I go, make sure you check out my latest content on Patreon. This week on the boxing tier, I uploaded the full Dave Allen versus Johnny Fisher rematch fight footage with my commentary over it. So you can watch the fight blow by blow with me calling the shots rather than Adam Smith. And relive the down goes Johnny moment till your heart's content. Also on the boxing tier, I uploaded the infamous Kell Brook voice note. It's some guy from Kell Brook's inner circle in a WhatsApp chat group spilling the beans about Kell Brook's alternative lifestyle, giving backstory to a car crash that Kell Brook was involved in back in the days, and the weird events that led up to it. And also, the time when he got shanked in Spain. He explains the backstory behind that. That voice note was never meant to get out, but it did. It was sent to me probably 7 years ago or so by somebody from Sheffield, and it was doing the rounds online for a while, but it's since apparently been scrubbed from everywhere on the internet except for my Patreon page on the boxing tier, the Boxing Brotherhood. And on my topical tier, this week I've uploaded part 2 of the Mechanics of Faith, where I delve into why some people follow religion and why it actually helps them, and why other people don't follow religion, and in some cases, for the best. And in part 2 specifically, I explain why so many black men in the diaspora have turned their backs on the church and turned their backs on Christianity altogether. That's this week's topical content. And of course, if you sign up to my Patreon, you get access to my entire back catalog on the tier that you select, going back many, many years, hundreds and hundreds of episodes. And of course, last week on the topical tier, the Brotherhood of Reason, I uploaded an episode which was an instant hit, decoding the new movie Sinners. It went down fantastically well. In fact, you can listen to a free 10-minute sample of that decoding. Just click the link in the description box below. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. If you want to access this video along with hundreds of hours worth of other exclusive boxing content, as well as our members chat, just head on over to my Patreon page and select the tier called the Boxing Brotherhood. There's no contract, no commitment. You can cancel at any time, just like Netflix, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper. Just download the app from the Play Store or the App Store. All the links are in the description box below. And just a quick money-saving tip for Apple users. If you purchase your Patreon subscription on the desktop site or on Android, then you'll avoid the ridiculous 30% fee that Apple charges for purchases made on the iOS app. So if you're on iPhone or iPad, save yourself some money by buying your subscription on the actual Patreon website or on Android, because it's a lot cheaper. Once you've made that initial purchase, you can then use the Patreon app on your iPhone or iPad thereafter to access and enjoy your content as normal.